Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Box Talk with Luis Madrid. Today we're here in Buckeye, Arizona. We're here at F1 Boxing, also the boxing home of fan favorite Brendan B. Fly Macias, as well as our guest today, Alfredo Escarcega Jr. How you doing today,
Joe, man, thanks for having me, man.
For sure, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for giving us some time today. To go ahead and kick us off, can you just take us to the beginning, just a little bit about where you were born, a little bit about your family, your upbringing, and how you got introduced to boxing?
Yes, sir. I was born in El Paso, Texas. I moved here back in 2001, so I've been, pretty much, I'm a Phoenix native, man. Pretty much all raised here in Phoenix, Arizona. I got, my dad, my coach, my mom has been supporting me since the beginning. Obviously, my two sisters that are in Texas, and then B-Fly is like my brother, so lives with us and everything.
For sure. And so, how do you end up getting introduced to boxing?
Man, I was actually telling that story recently to some people. So one day, I just remember being at, coming home, and I was telling my dad. I had a friend of mine. His name was DJ. We were just, rough housing after school. I was in third grade, and I told my dad, like, man, I didn't tell him anything, like, well, I'm getting like beat up or anything. But I remember I told him that, man, maybe I don't know, I think he could beat me up or something, man. And my dad got mad. Okay, my uncle was boxing at Sonny's. He was fighting amateurs. So he told me, "No, we're gonna take it to the boxing gym." And bro, that's the first thing we did. He's like, I'm gonna have you learn how to defend yourself and learn how to fight. So I was like, man, I don't want to go box. And I remember going to the gym, and I remember telling Sonny too. I told Sonny and his wife at the time, I was telling her, I just don't know how to box. I don't know how to defend myself. I don't want to fight at all. But man, it just ended up being really natural, talented. I'm a lefty, so everything came out real straight right away. My punches, and I got in a spar for the first time with a friend of mine. I still know him. His name is Karim. My first ever sparring, and dude, it wasn't that bad. I enjoyed it. I was like, man, this isn't too bad. Punches hurt a little bit, but from there on out, I got excited. I got ready for a whole year, and so I was 7 at the time, and I got ready to turn amateur at 8 years old at 55 pounds.
Do you know if your friend still boxes?
No, Karim doesn't box no more. All his brothers already done. They all boxed at Knockout.
Oh, okay.
It was Andy.
For sure. Sounds good, man. And so, talk to us a little bit about the amateur career. So, you said you had your first fight at 8 years old?
8 years old, 55 pounds, bro.
Yeah. Well, how many fights do you think you had, and what kind of
I want to say at least 150 amateur fights. Multinational championships. I got a couple on the walls. Like that's my belt there. There's the one over here. There's a showdown back there. So I don't know how many nationals I won, but I won a good amount.
Do they still happen? There's a showdown?
Yeah, I don't know how long ago that was, bro, but I remember going to the first one when I was a kid. I went to the first one when I was about probably like 9 or 10 years old, and I won that one.
For sure.
Growing up, yeah.
Cool, man. And just a little side note on that. I remember that your dad had either posted or commented on like a picture. It was nobody's picture. It just happened to be two little kids that just finished sparring, and it was I guess it was kind of like a meme, but it wasn't supposed to be funny. It just said like, do you think this is appropriate for kids to be fighting this early and this many fights? What is your thought on that? Do you think it kind of takes a toll on you when you fight that much?
Yeah, it does, man. Honestly, I've been training since I was a kid, so all the years, all the fights. Obviously, people are always going to tell you that, you got to do it, you got to have fun, It's fun, but it's also, it's not, man. At the end of the day, we're fighting, the whole point is to hurt the other person. So I don't think, maybe, having a little bit less fights as an amateur maybe would have helped me a little bit, because I'm not lying, man, my body's always tired now. But, obviously for the brain as well, too, it's also not the best thing. But, would I take away any of the fights that I had and experiences that I had? No, I'll take it all the way through. I missed the amateurs, I loved it, and I'll never take it away, man. I love all that stuff. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's the smarter thing is to have a little bit less fights growing up, and then eventually step it up when you get a little bit older.
But then at the same time, I feel like having all those fights and winning all those big tournaments and stuff like that, that's kind of what promoters want to see. So I guess it has its good and its bad thing.
I think it does, but at the end of the day, like I tell people, what you do as a kid doesn't really matter. It's more about when you get a little bit older. That's why, I missed like the last year or so in the amateurs. As I got surgery on my jaw my last year of the amateurs, and I missed a couple big tournaments. So I think it counts more later on when you're over 17. Those are the ones that the promoters look for. The big tournaments. The Golden Gloves Nationals. The USA Nationals. The big tournaments that count.
For sure. And sounds good, man. Well, that leads me into my next question. Is the professional rankings? I guess you kind of answered it already, but my question was going to be, why do you decide to go pro when you do go pro at the time?
Honestly, dude, if there's one thing I could do, I would wait to turn pro. If I could go back, I would have waited to turn pro. Just because you develop your body a little bit stronger. As you get older, I'm noticing that now. I'm about to be 23 this year. I'm noticing that my body's finally really growing into the man. And I think when I was, I turned to pro at going into 19. I didn't have the same body yet, you know what I mean? And I think, I had a couple fights early on where I didn't have a couple knockouts, right away. And then as I started getting stronger, bigger, I started stopping out a lot of people over and over again, back to back to back. So I think if I could have waited a little bit longer to stay a little bit, and especially because I missed a couple years in the amateur, like a year and a half, not a whole year and a half, like about a year of amateur fighting, I think I would have rather stayed, obviously 1 year in the amateurs and then eventually turn pro a little bit later. But at the end of the day, like my career's gotten started. I have 11 fights already, and it's going forward now.
For sure, sounds good. And so, tell us a little bit about the story of how you end up, meeting Mikey and signing with their promotional group at Garcia Promotions.
Honestly, dude, I haven't signed with him, but
or just being part
of Mikey's camp. That was honestly like a random thing. So B-Fly had a fight over there. He was over there with RGBA already, and he just had a fight that day, and I just happened to see Mikey was there. He was obviously, it was his show, so I wanted to go take a picture with him, me and Sebastian. So we went and took a picture with him, and I just took a picture with him. I posted on Instagram because it was cool meeting Mikey. Really humble guy. If you haven't already met him yet, he's a really, really humble guy, cool dude. Shook my hand. So I remember that right away. He shook my hand. Hey, what's up, man? Nice to meet you. And I posted the picture on Instagram, and like I said, we've been boxing for a really long time, so we know a lot of guys that train at RGBA, train at different gyms. And my friend, his name is Jose Rodriguez. His son, his name is Ruben. He fights there for RGBA, and he said, "Hey, man, I think because at the time that's when Mikey was getting ready. Mikey was getting ready for the announcement to make the Earl Spence fight." And he said, "Man, I think Alfredo's a perfect opportunity because Robert asked him, do you know any fighters that would be appropriate and like for the skill set, the size and everything?" He said, "Alfredo." And then he saw the picture of me. He's like, "Man, Alfredo's ready." He's like, "He looks good. He looks at the right size and everything." So that's basically how it happened. I got invited. I got the sparring done. Robert wasn't there that day. It was Pita and Big G, and we went and sparred. We did good. Obviously, they accepted us in the camp, and the rest was history from there, man. We just did the whole camp. I'm the only fighter that did the entire camp for 6 weeks.
Sure.
So I earned a lot of respect by Mikey.
For sure. And that's what I wanted to tell you about. I mean, RGBA, Robert, all those guys, not only do they have Mikey around, but they have so many awesome fighters in that stable. They also have Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine some of that greatness rubs off on you, man. How is that experience, and how much do you learn being around all those guys?
Yeah, man. Sparring guys like that, it's only everybody's at a high level there. Everybody's competitive. Everybody wants to look good and spar good and get each other better. So just with skill like that, bro, you learn just every single sparring, bro, you learn. Even if it ain't your best day or it is your best day, everybody has something to learn from it. And like I said, grabbing fighters like that, like Mikey, Virgil, Hector Tanahara, Alexis Spino, Caballo, all those guys, man, that I've sparred and I've learned from them. And I can't ever not use that experience, and take it to a fight, because you learn a lot in sparring. That's literally what sparring is for learning. For sure.
And so, in your professional career, you started off really fast. You were getting your fights out the way and doing all that good stuff, and then the good old pandemic hit and just kind of put the stop on everything. Not just for you, but for everybody. Talk to us a little bit about how that affected you personally.
Well, me personally, man, I have a big sponsor named 8 Man Strong, and I was just working there part time with them because they didn't know I was a fighter, and I just needed a little part time job. So I was there, working for them and getting everything done, and then obviously it shut down. So like they just had to close everything down. Just it was just because they're brothers owners. They were doing everything by themselves, man. They sent all the employees home. So I didn't work anymore there, and I was at the house for about 2 weeks because obviously everything closed, bro. Like completely, the gym, everything. So more than 2. It's about 2 months where I didn't do nothing. I was just honestly, man, all I was doing was running and lifting weights at my house. That's all I was doing. And it was boring, not doing anything. But it's just having to try to stay busy because at the time, before everything started shutting down, I was getting ready to fight here. Actually, I was going to fight in Phoenix. I was going to fight at I forgot what that venue is called.
Was it the what David was gonna fight?
Yeah, where David was gonna fight over there, somewhere around there. So I was gonna fight in those.
What's that place
That's
called?
it. I forgot what that place is called, but I was gonna fight in that place.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
We'll remember. Yeah, no, but I was gonna fight there, and obviously everything got canceled, and it was just playing the weight game, man. Because we would think, oh, maybe this will happen, and little by little everything was shutting down more and more and more. And like you said, everything that we see normal now was crazy then, So it's just been like I guess kind of what we got to do now, bro, is just stay busy no matter what. At the end of the day, like I can get a call tomorrow, I can get a call in a month or 2, 3 months, just to stay ready and busy. And at this point, I'm at the point in my career now, the amount of fights that I have, I got to take it to the next level, And that's what I want to do. So I got to work extra hard and stay busy for any opportunity that comes, because that's all I need to do, man, is display my skills, and the rest is going to be that right there.
For sure. And I mean, it's not like the pandemic is gone. It's definitely far from gone, but things are definitely opening up more. A lot more fights are coming along and things like that. So do you expect to have a busy 2021? And do you have any idea, at least like a range of when you might potentially be back in the ring?
Yeah. Well, I want to have a busy year this year. I want to have, I want to shoot for 5 fights this year, man, because, I only had 2 last year. That's definitely what I want to do, is 5 for this year. Looking like I'm going to fight again pretty soon, probably April-ish, what we're looking at. So I don't know the exact date yet, but it should be coming soon. We're in the gym, we're getting ready, 5 days a week, and we'll be in the ring soon.
For sure. And one of the other things that I wanted to ask you is, I know that I had seen you a couple of times. I seen a couple of your fights, and I always, for some reason, thought that you were just like a real quiet, kind of like reserved guy. But then I watched your interview with, what is it, Along the Ropes or something like that? Against the Ropes,
Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I watched that interview, and then you're talking about, you're actually talkative, you're upbeat, you're a fun person. Do you get that often, that people think that you're like a quiet guy? Yeah,
they would seem like I come off like I'm quiet, but once you get to know me and everything, I start talking, man. I'm super talkative, I'm constantly getting... My dad yells at me and B because we're the most talkative guys in the gym, to quiet down, get to work. So, yeah, I have a big personality. I think now what I got to do now, especially social media age number, I got to just display that now, because people like relatability. When I work with Ellie, people always like me on the camera and stuff like that. So, it's good. I just gotta start, posting more, showing myself more, and putting my face out there, because, like I said, man, you thought I was a quiet guy, but I got a bigger personality. Nobody ever sees it unless I show it. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I got to start doing. Just keep putting my face out there, and keep, allowing people to see, who I am.
For sure. Sounds good, man. Thank you. And so, so when you ultimately, play your career in your head, sure, what visions do you have? What kind of things do you want to accomplish in boxing?
Well, yeah, man, I've been working, since a kid, and I want to become a world champion. First things foremost, what I got to do, that's my one and only dream. That's why I do this every single day. So that's it, man. Obviously going forward, the first goal right now is to, get signed by a big promoter, and then from there is to, win a world title, and then the rest is going to be history from there. Just one day at a time. For
sure, man. So transitioning into our next little segment that we have here, I have some 3 upcoming fights.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to know your thoughts on what you think of those fights, and give me a little breakdown for
Got you, man.
Perfect. So the first fight that I have for you is the Gallo Estrada and Chocolatito fight for the WBC title, I think at 115.
That's a rematch, right?
Yeah, the rematch. I think it's in March 28th, or something like that, in Texas.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be an exciting fight. Obviously, Gallo Estrada won the first one. Chocolatito looked really good. I saw Chocolatito fight one of his last fights before the big pandemic shutdown. I went to Mikey's fight over there in Frisco. And Chocolatito looked super strong, bro. He looked like a monster. So I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me seeing. Obviously, I like Gallo Estrada. He's a Mexican fighter, but I'm a big fan of both the guys. So for me, it's gonna be a toss-up fight. I don't know who's gonna get it. I have a slight shot. I think Chocolatito's gonna win it, and you never know, because then that gets a trilogy. So that'd be nice to see, right?
For sure. I think both of them, at the very least, I know Chocolatito's like in his early 30s, and I feel like the smaller weight class guys they get more wear and tear. I don't know if it's because they throw more punches.
Well, they throw so many punches, man. Can you imagine throwing that many shots? I can't imagine doing that.
For sure.
For 12 rounds.
And the next fight that I have for you, you're probably going to give me a biased answer because this is your stablemate, but we'll see. The Virgil Ortiz and Maurice Hooker fight.
Oh, no, yeah, for sure, man. I'm going to go with Virgil. One, yeah, Virgil is my friend, but just seeing Virgil and I think seeing Maurice Hooker, I think the size difference, bro. I don't think Maurice Hooker is big enough to fight a full true 147 like Virgil is, but Virgil's a big guy. And I think, yeah, obviously skill-wise, they both got really good skills. One has more experience. One's been a world champion. But I think just Virgil's size, he's a very smart fighter as well. And I think he's just I think this is the fight he needs to, like, catapult himself. So I'm going to go with Virgil.
For sure. And then the last fight that I have for you is tonight's fight, the Canelo versus Yildirim. How do you see that going down?
Bro. Canelo, man. I was talking about this right now at the barbershop. They were asking me, what do you think? One of the guys is saying, Canelo's going to get stopped. I'm like, man, he's a tough fighter, that guy. But on the level that Canelo is, I don't think anybody touches him, man.
For sure.
Honestly.
For sure. All right, man. And so to finish off the interview, I have my last segment here is called 12 Rounds of Boxing.
Yes, sir.
It's just 12 kind of rapid fire, getting to know you type questions, and we'll finish off with that. Okay. Perfect. So the first question that I have for you is, what is the first thought that enters your head when you wake up in the morning?
Gotta brush my teeth.
Brush my teeth. All right. Question number 2 is, what movie or movies have made you cry before?
Oh, bro, A Star is Born. You ever seen that movie with Lady Gaga? You gotta watch that, but you'll cry.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah, now it's on. I think it's on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. That movie made me cry. And The Gladiator. When I was a kid, The Gladiator would always make me cry. Maximus would die. I used to always cry growing up.
For sure. Question number 3 is, what is your favorite thing to eat after weigh-ins?
Oh, bro, for everything you need, steak, mashed potatoes, and drink a Coke. Boom.
Okay. You got it down to the T like that?
Down to the science. I already know what I want every single time. I gotta it's like a routine, bro. I always gotta get a steak. So fighting in Mexico, you always have those big steak plates, kind of like Fogo de Chao. They have a bunch of them in Mexico,
okay.
Bro. And you just go out, rub it out, man. You get full, because you always want to get the red meat in the day before, because it's heavy meat. So get all that in, and you're ready to go.
What about like Texas and California?
Texas and Cali?
Yeah, the steak places out there.
Great steak places. But like where I'm from El Paso, there's a steak place called it's called Cattleman Steakhouse. It's where my dad's from. It's called Pavens, Texas. Bro, one of the best in the country. If you haven't been there, if you go to El Paso, go try it, bro. Cattleman Steakhouse.
I have that on my list, and also Chico's Tacos.
Chico's Tacos, bro. Chico's Tacos is bomb too. Yeah, you gotta go try it out.
For sure. Question number 4 is, if a movie was made about your life, who would play you?
That's a good question. Who would play me? I hadn't even ever thought about that. That's one I don't even have an answer for, man. Who would play me? Who do you think? Who do you think would act for me? What's the guy you could see
Adam
my face?
Sandler?
I don't think Adam Sandler, bro. I don't think he could be the boxer. He couldn't do it. I need a younger guy too. He's a little 12 for me.
He's funny though.
Yeah, he is funny. That's right. I think Adam Sandler's B-fly.
All right, then we'll put that one on hold. Then
or he's not. No, I'll be Adam Sandler, and B-fly could be David Spade.
Okay, we'll put that one on hold. Then.
Yeah, we'll put that one on hold, bro, for the next one.
Question number 5 is, have you ever met somebody and got starstruck?
I haven't yet, man, to this point. Like I said, when I met Mikey, and obviously I'm really cool with Mikey now, I can message him, stuff like that. He's a cool dude. But before, when I first met Mikey, I can't believe how humble that guy was. I'm telling you, he said, shook my hand, said, hey, nice to meet you, man. So I haven't been starstruck, but I was very, when I met Mikey, I was very, understanding of why it is to be, a humble person. Because, that connects to people.
Not to throw us off topic, off the topic here too much, but I went to the expo in Vegas 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I go every year, but the first year that I went, there was 2 huge lines, and one was for Mikey and one was for Andre Ward.
Oh, really?
And Andre Ward is one of my heroes, bro.
Yeah,
and there was a huge line for each one, and there was an hour left. So technically, I had to pick one fighter.
Yeah.
So I was stuck with the choice, who do you go? And I thought about it, and I was just I'm gonna have to go with Ward, just because Ward's harder to see. Mikey's always at his fights, and he's always at the expos and doing meet and greets and all that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. I met Ward, and then the following year I went again and I met Mikey.
Nice.
And I even had the shirt, he has the logo that says Puro Pichi Mikey.
Yeah.
I wore that shirt, and he shook my hand too, and he was like
Mikey's super dope, huh?
For sure. And question 6.
Yeah.
What has been the least favorite job that you've ever had to work?
I've had 2, bro, because I've had 2 hard jobs. So the one I had it for a week. I had to wash. I had it for 1 week because I was about to start. I work at Starbucks now, So the job wasn't starting yet. So my dad has a friend. My dad sells semi trucks. He's like, hey man, he's like, you need any work? Let me know. You know, I can let anybody get a job there. You know, come work. And it was for a week, bro, washing the semi trucks, and it was summertime. It was probably like June, bro. I came home so sunburned, and then also because when you clean the inside of the diesels of the semis, they clean them to really clean them. They use some type of acid mixed with a chemical. So bro, like I remember my clothes all got full of acid, and one of the guys told me, he's like, that shirt and those pants are done, dude. They're done. They got hit full of acid. They're done. Yeah, before you know it, they all ate on my clothes. So that one, and probably honestly, I like that job. My second one, that's probably the only one, bro. That's one of the hardest ones. But actually, I earned a lot of respect, and I learned that I can be a hard worker if I need to, bro. Like,
for sure.
So I can grind it out. He always asks me if I want to work again. I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. I got plenty of hours at my other job.
And question number 7, this one's more for the fans, man. This one disappoints me because I know those disgusting sports teams that you like, but this is for the fans. Do you follow any other sports closely outside of boxing?
My favorite, shout out to the Dodgers. Yeah. So my favorite sports to watch.
Make sure to blur that out.
Nah, man, I love watching other sports, bro. My favorite sport to probably watch is baseball, basketball, and football. Honestly, I like all sports, bro. I watch ESPN 24/7, so. You know, you're like I said, my disgusting teams. The only one thing that we will agree on is I'm a Cardinals fan. My dad's a Cowboy fan, but I don't associate with that. But yeah, my other two teams are the Lakers and the Dodgers. I'm diehard, man. So
sure.
You already know. We agree on one at least, right?
Yeah, there we go. Cardinals for sure. Question number 8 is, what is your biggest pet peeve if you have one?
Oh, bro, people are on their phone when they're with you and you're just chilling out there. Like, say we go out to eat, man, and you're just 20 years old.
That's 2021, though.
Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie because. Like, my girl's looking at me right now, but I do it sometimes too. But hey, like, I try to stay off of it the best I can. I try to put it in my back pocket. But when people are on their phone 24/7 or they like smack their gums or something like that, like, I don't like that noise. So other than that, nothing really bothers me.
For sure. Question number 9 is, if you were forced to eat the same thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I've always wondered that question. The same thing every single day.
And it's not like a what do you call it? It's not like generalized, like saying Mexican food. It's literally straight to
like just one thing. I feel like if I could eat one thing, not even like obviously not even like a restaurant or anything, I feel like I would eat chicken and rice, bro. Because even though it's super bland, or chicken, so there we go, chicken, rice, and beans. Boom, that's what I would eat. And maybe like one vegetable, and then boom, that'd be my plate every single day. I think that'd be perfect. Because like one, you get the protein, you get the carbs, and then if you got vegetables, bro. I know it'd be super bland because you know people do like. What's it called? People do like meal preps and it does get really boring, but think about it, like, bro, but it works, and like, what else are you gonna eat at that point? You only have one meal to eat, so I think that's the perfect one.
For sure. Question number 10 is, what is one boxing fight that you can watch over and over and not get tired of?
Bro, the freaking Gaddy Ward and what's his name? Gaddy Ward, excuse me. Yeah. Arturo Gaddy and Mickey Ward. My bad. Yeah.
Do you remember which one out of the 3? I think the first one was the best one.
The first is the best fight.
Yeah. And then I think the second one was the one that Gotti went easy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Because one of them was injured or something.
Yeah. No, the first one is the best fight ever won. I think it's the 9th round. That's one of the best rounds of boxing ever. That's a great fight.
I don't know, man. That's tough competition with that Corrales and
that one too, bro. I would never want to be in a fight like that, but
was that like round 10? I think.
Yeah, 11? Bro.
I can't Castillo Corrales.
I can't even imagine being in fights like that, bro. That's crazy. Like, just to be able to say you walked out of a fight like that, like that's something to say.
He got dropped like 3 times.
Yeah. Oh, you know what too? Actually, recent times was that Baranchik and Chon. That fight was badass.
There was one last year too. Was it like the Cepeda?
That's what I'm talking about. Cepeda.
Cepeda dropped each other.
That was probably my favorite fight of last year. That fight was bad.
For sure.
And he's lefty, so I like Chon.
Yeah. You said you're big on southpaws.
Yeah, I'm a big southpaw guy, so yeah, all the southpaws.
For sure. Question number 11 is, if we were to take your phone from you and listen to look at your playlist, what's an Alfredo Escarcega?
I like seeing that meme where it's like Tupac and Chalino. That's my music, bro. It's a mix. Honestly, dude, I like a lot of music. I would say that on a daily basis, what I listen to the most is probably like rap and like Mexican music, like corridos and stuff like that. But I like a lot of stuff, bro. Like my girlfriend used to let me into like country, bro. I started liking that. I like super random like R&B songs, bro. Just all kinds of music, all over the spectrum. Because my dad, and obviously I like alternative rock too, even like Mexican rock. Big like my non fan. So
what do you usually walk out to?
Mexican music, bro.
Mexican music?
I was just telling my girl about that. I was like, I really like. It just gets me in the zone, bro. Like when I listen to like corridos and stuff before I go to the fight, I feel ready to go, bro. Like I'm ready to do it.
For sure. And then the final question that we have for you is: if you weren't a boxer, what other profession do you think you would have taken on?
Bro, I would have played baseball.
Yeah.
I think because I'm a lefty, I think I would have been a beast, but I never tried playing. So
I
I always told my dad, like, if there's any other sport I would have wanted to play, it was probably baseball. But growing up, I always said I don't want to play. My dad would ask me, "You want to play other sports?" I'm like, "No, I just want to box." Because in boxing, growing up, it's year. There's no like club, so it's year round. But he'd always ask me play another sport. So I was like, "No, I just want to box." But I think I want to play baseball, or when I want to school right now for, I want to be like one of the guys like on ESPN. I'm going to school
like
for
an analyst.
Yeah, an analyst. I'm going to school for that. So that's another job I would like to do.
There you go. Hey man, well at least you had the option and you knew what you wanted.
Yeah.
I know other fighters that when they were kids they wanted to do something and their dads wouldn't let them.
No, but my dad would always tell me. My dad would always say, "Hey, do you wanna do something else? Go play another sport. Go do that." And I was like, "Nah, man. I love boxing, dude. I love training. I love fighting." So I was like, "Nah, I don't do nothing else. I want to box." So, like I said, going forward now, man, hell yeah. Like, would I want to play something else too? Of course, But I love boxing as it is, like. Now that's what I'm saying. That's why I want to. Now growing up, for being a kid, like of course I could have other options, but now like where I'm at now, I want to make it because I've had options, bro, and I've always chose the one thing, and that's boxing. That's what I love.
There you go. For sure, man. Well, before we let you get out of here, man, do you have any final words for your family, your supporters, your friends, and do you have any social media you want to give out?
Yes, sir. I was gonna say. Shout out to all my family, my friends, everybody that's been supporting me. My fans and everybody that continues to support me and always ask, my dad and stuff like that, of how I'm doing and I'm training and when's the next fights. We're obviously getting back in the ring very soon. So thank you guys for the support. Thanks for you, Luis.
Sure.
And like I was saying, follow me on Instagram at ae.jr. And on Facebook, Alfredo Escarcega Jr. Obviously, you'll see my name spelled somewhere right here because it's hard to spell. And on Twitter, I'm Junior_Escarcega too.
There you have it, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for watching another episode of Box Talk with Luis Madrid. God bless.
See you guys.
Come on, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Box Talk with Luis Madrid. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let us know who you would like us to interview next. And stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you very much, and God bless.